Hey guys, tonight's lesson, creating linear equations from word problems. And this should be, let's see, 4, 5, 6, number 7 in your table of contents. So please remember to keep that up to date. But let's start off with what we know about linear equations and maybe what we should remember. The formula is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So I'm going to remember when I'm reading a word problem that I need to find, okay, I need to find several things. I need to find the slope, which is the rate of change for the problem. I need to find the y-intercept, which is the starting point of a problem. What do we start off with originally? And 3, I need to define my variables. And actually, I'm putting, these are just 3 things we need. They don't necessarily have to be in this order that you pull them out. Define your variables, which are the x and the y down here are your variables, because those can keep changing, but you only have one slope and you only have one y-intercept, which is why we find actual numbers for those. But because we could have an infinite amount of x and y points, when we write our equation, x and y stay x and y. So variables are x and y. Okay? Cool. And then I'm going to throw rate of change up here. Perfect. So these are the types of things that we need to pull out of the problem in order to write our linear equation. So if we took a problem that, let's say we have a school dance, and I'm making this up off the top of my head. So at the school dance, there is a DJ, right? And the cost for the DJ to come out to the school is, let's say, $375. Okay? Plus an additional $50 per hour. Okay? So let's see. We need our y-intercept, our starting point, and our slope, or our rate of change. And these are pretty obvious in this one. The starting point is the $375 just for booking him to come out to the school. So my y-intercept, or b, is equal to $375. And my rate of change, or my slope, and there's a key word here, per hour, right? When you're talking about rates per hour. So that's going to be $50, my rate of change. And it's going to be positive 50 because I'm adding $50 every hour. In some situations, you may be subtracting a certain amount, and that's going to make your slope negative. And in some situations, maybe you're starting negative, like we did with our distance from a certain city. We started negative. Now, the simple part is, well, let's define our variables first. Let's say our independent variable, what we already know going into it, is how much money he's charging per hour, so we know time going into it. So our X is going to be time in hours. And you can always look back at your rate of change. So it's $50 per hour. Okay, so your rate is going to be with your X. Your slope is going to be with your X. So the hour per hour needs to be your X variable. The Y variable in this case is the total cost for the DJ. So when we write our equation, we have all 4 of the pieces right here. And like I said, Y and X stay the same because there's an infinite amount of those. You could have an infinite amount of hours, in which case you have an infinite total cost. So Y equals M, $50 per hour. X is your hour, so $50 per hour, plus the original starting point of just to have them come out, $375. Okay? So the total cost, you read this as, in words, you read this as the total cost is $50 per hour plus the original $375.